Well guys, you heard that title correctly. Harry Potter has ruined reading for me. But to explain why this is, we need to go back to the year 1997, when that book that I just karate kicked away hit bookshelves for the very first time.
His name dons the cover of the wildly popular books. It's Harry Potter, and if you haven't heard of him, then you probably don't have a middle school child.
The date is June 26th, 1997, and I'm 9 years old. 2 years younger than the infamous Harry Potter was when he first attended Hogwarts and discovered...
You're a wizard, Harry.
But here's the thing. When book one of Harry Potter came out, it was very much considered witchcraft and evil by all of the churches that I went to. So I wasn't allowed to read any of the Harry Potter books because at the time...
Because you know, deep down, you deserve to be punished.
I was very much a church kid. I memorized every single worship song, I memorized every single hymn in the hymn book, and I even knew every single book of the Bible. Let's see if I still got it. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 1 Kings, 1 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Songs, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans. Well, I used to know all of them. I even attended the Christian haunted houses, which are aptly called Hell House.
They're not breathing. They're dead because of you, Vernon. Lift it up. What's wrong, man? You're mine. I'll take the credit for all those unborn preachers and pastors.
Yeah, so other parts of these recordings are actually way worse, but I'm not going to show them here. So anyways, this is what I grew up with, so let's get back to the video. So, needless to say, I didn't understand the craze around the Harry Potter book series, even though everyone in my neighborhood was obsessed with it and they were all getting to read it, except for me, of course. But the book series couldn't have been that impressive, right? I mean, it's not like they made an entire movie out of it or something. Wait. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and I was quickly becoming an adult, and I think I was finally ready to find out what was so special about this boy with a lightning scar on his forehead.
And that kind of act leaves a mark.
But instead of reading the books, because I wasn't that into reading books at the time, as this was right when I had picked up skateboarding and that was all I wanted to do, I caught up on the movies instead in about 2004, which by then there was about 3 movies out. As the years pushed by, all the way to the year 2011 when the last Harry Potter movie came out, I followed the entire series, and I enjoyed them. However, they were still just movies to me, and so I didn't really hardcore fan out about them. And although these movies gave me a new appreciation for the acting talents of Daniel Radcliffe, Alan Rickman, Emma Watson, Maggie Smith, Richard Griffiths, and so many others, I still wasn't in love with the Wizarding World. To be honest, after Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out in theaters, I didn't even really think about Harry Potter for a lot of the years following the last movie. That is, until the beginning of 2023 when I caught feelings for the Wizarding World through a little video game you may have heard of. There have been a lot of iterations of Harry Potter in video games, but none of them have ever captured my attention like the release of Hogwarts Legacy in early 2023. I love open world video games. They're one of my favorite types of video games to play through because there's just a huge open map. So when I heard that the Wizarding World was going to be able to get their very own full-length, true to itself, giant mapped video game, otherwise known as Hogwarts Legacy, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna give the Wizarding World one more chance to wow me. And let me tell you, I was very surprised. Now, if you go on Reddit or really anywhere around the internet, there's probably gonna be a lot of people that disagree with what I'm about to say. But Hogwarts Legacy, and hear me out, is possibly one of the best video games I have ever played in my life. And I've been playing video games for the 36 years that I've been on this planet. I'm not, however, ignorant to the fact that my taste in games is often a lot different than a lot of my friends and people that I talk to. But something about Hogwarts Legacy, as it slowly progresses you into this magical world as a somewhat novice, felt different. So much more different than any other fictional world I've ever suspended my belief and entered into. As my wife can attest to, I got completely lost into this game for almost 100 hours while I beat the game and hit 100% over the course of about 2 months. And when I finished exploring the extremely detailed Hogwarts Castle and went into buildings and areas on the map that I could vaguely recall from some of the movies, something in me needed more. Like, way more. So, I dove into the wizarding world by picking up my wife's copy of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, a book that was once forbidden to me almost 3 decades prior. From March 2023 through November 2023, I read through all 7 of the Harry Potter books, and then even read the 8th book, which is presented as a screenplay to continue Harry's story in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which a lot of people don't consider canon to the Harry Potter story as a whole, even though J.K. Rowling said that it was, but what is she now? When I put this last book down, no wait, not this one. When I put this last book down on the shelf after completing the entire series, I was completely blown away. I was also super excited because I had finally found a book series that not only made me want to read, but made me need to read to find out what was next. Then something really weird happened. And you may have already guessed what that weird thing is from the title of this video. See, the funny thing was that once I finished the entire series and I beat Hogwarts Legacy,
You're a wizard, Harry.
even though this time I did it as a Ravenclaw, even though I'm truly a Slytherin, I moved on to some other books in my library that I have always wanted to read. Like The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, super famous book. But after like 5 minutes of trying to read this book, I got bored. So I thought, well, maybe I'm not ready to read a completely different type of book. Maybe I need to stick with something that's kind of on the same level as Harry Potter. So I started my journey into The Alchemist, The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott.
The thing about prison was the Dementors. They were flying all over the place and they were scary, and then they'd come down and they'd suck the soul out of your body.
Not that Michael Scott. So I found The Alchemist in an audiobook on my app Libby. But again, I was bored after like 5 minutes. And it was super frustrating. You know what, I need some fresh air. Oh, no snow. Must be later in the school year. My conclusion is that the Harry Potter book series, as well as Hogwarts Legacy as a video game, have kind of ruined reading and video games for me, at least in the short term. It was quite literally the best fictional story that I have ever read. Now, I know that's going to cause a lot of debates down in the comments, but remember, this is just my opinion, and that was my true feeling after spending so much time in the wizarding world. With that being said, I think I'm going to take a short break from reading books and even playing video games, at least for a little while, just to cleanse my literary palate. God, that sounds snobby, but you know what I mean.
Baked it myself, words and all.
I am curious though, for anybody out there watching this video that fell in love with the Harry Potter series the way that I did, what did you guys move on to afterwards? And did you also experience what the Rainy Day blog refers to as reading hangover?
The reading hangover is one of the worst feelings a reader can have after finishing a really good book. You're happy because you just read an amazing story, but also sad at the same time, because the story is over and there's no going back to having that first reading experience over again.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a little bit of a departure if you watch the rest of the videos on my channel from what I typically create, but when the universe gives you an idea and you feel like you have to make it and it's forcing you to do so, well then you gotta create it. So that's what I did. And Harry Potter literally made a giant impact on my life all of 2023 and continues to here in 2024 and probably will for the rest of my life. I am going to leave a bunch of Harry Potter related links down below if you guys want to check it out to get maybe this beanie or the scarf I was wearing earlier on. And in addition, if you want to support this channel, I'm also going to leave my new clothing line that I have for this YouTube channel down in the description below, as well as the book that I wrote. If you're interested in books, as I assume you are because you're watching a Harry Potter video, I wrote a book all about a physicist named Natalia who's traveling through the cosmos and trying to figure stuff out. If you want to check that out, or any of the other stuff that I talked about, it's all down in the description below. And right here, I'm going to leave a video, if you want to check that out too, of another video essay I made on high 8 tapes and just the nostalgia that those brought me growing up in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So go and check that out. I will see you guys next time. I'm Eric J. Coons. Please hit that subscribe button, and see you guys next time. Peace out.